Охваченный горем, я видел свет.
In the video, let me fix the camera a little bit. This camera's been giving me a lot of problems today, but back when the book review, this is book 12, and for book 12 we're going to be reading The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. I said that I was going to be reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, but ended up just reading this book because I just wanted to read this book. So I would recommend that whatever book you're going to read, or if you're reading a book, it's always good to just kind of go with the flow. If you want to read more books, it's just read books that you want to read, then it will be easy for you to read the book. So we're definitely going to keep reading that. I want to get into some really long literature because I want to get really good at reading like 500, like 1,000 page books, because that's like textbook level books. So I want to get to the point where I can just be reading textbooks, and I have no problem. I've done that before. Like the first book on this challenge was a textbook, and it was very dense. But I think with all the philosophy that I've read, which are very dense, I can read them. So, you know, we'll get to that. But to this book's, the first thing is the art. I love the art on this book. It's like really simple and it looks pretty cool, the triangles and everything. I would say this book is like a moderate book in terms of like length. It's not too long but not too short. It's not the densest book, but if you don't understand like where it's coming from, it can kind of sound kind of dense. But it's like middle of the pack. But the abstract ideas are pretty dense in their nature. So The Myth of Sisyphus. Well, first we'll go into the author. Albert Camus is a French philosopher, like in the 1940s, around there, and he's pretty influential. His most notable works is his works on the ideology of absurdism, which is what the Myth of Sisyphus is. And so the Myth of Sisyphus kind of is an answer for suicide. And so it takes the human suicide and looks at absurdism and juxtaposes it with the Myth of Sisyphus, which is a Greek mythology or mythological story of a god that was condemned for a punishment, having to like hold up a rock that was like immovable, and he just had to hold this rock pretty much. I'll let you go into that, do some digging on that if you want to, but it kind of juxtaposes this eternal being and his eternal damnation to us finite beings, and I guess you could say our damnation of the of death, and how we either try to get to death quicker through suicide or don't. And it uses absurdism to kind of explain all this stuff. So he talks about different people like Nietzsche, I think Dostoevsky, I think how you say it, and some other people. And he essentially kind of like will critique them and just kind of look at their works, all that stuff. So if you don't understand some of the literature that's in here, there is, I think it's like, what is it, The Fall of Zacharias, some of Zacharith by Nietzsche, and some other fictional philosophical works, then you might not understand everything that he's referencing. But if you just stay focused, you understand that the main source of this is absurdism, you will understand absurdism. So he does use abstract ideas and kind of tie them together. He's not really so much critiquing, but he's like giving you abstract ideas. He kind of writes very similarly to Immanuel Kant. I wouldn't say that he writes like Nietzsche. Nietzsche has his own distinct style, but he writes similar to like Immanuel Kant. I don't know if they were both French. They could have been, but I wasn't gonna look that up. But let me just stay on task right now. But yeah, so that's about it. I'll let you guys look that up if you guys want to know the information. I'll look it up after this. But yeah, so that looks pretty good. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 stars. And yes, we got book 12 done. So we'll be moving into books. Right now I'm also reading Less Than Zero by Brett Elliott. So this will probably be the next book because it's a nice little fiction book. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. We're gonna get into some really long books. My goal is to read some very long books and to really dig deep into it. So like I might just take a day and just read the entire day, and just really get into that. So I'm really excited for that, and hope you guys will enjoy that. So we'll begin book 13 this week. Sorry that I wasn't like on top of it. It was because I've been doing a lot of stuff. I have some video essays that are going to be planned. I have a setup video that's going to be planned. I hope you guys like that other studying video. I have some other classes I was doing too, so, and some other things, training and stuff like that. I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to manage all the videos, so I had to wait. But it's all good because we're good. We're going to catch up. We're going to be good. As long as I'm doing it and I'm on task, like I just showed you guys, I'm still on task. So this is going to be the 13th book, the 13th week. I'm going to keep going. So hopefully you guys are finding good books to read, and hopefully you guys are thinking critically and thinking deeply, and continue to read. So I will catch you guys at the next time. This is Malcolm Mott signing off. Goodbye.